Your intention works like a magnet that draws to itself all that is needed to make it manifest into the physical. This is an example of how your intention works out. You think up a new idea. You have a new desire. You intend to have your desire come to life. This then starts drawing to you all the things needed for you to attain your desire. It is a magical thing. You have certain dreams, you meet certain people, you go through certain conditions, you acquire certain skills. Many seemingly coincidental events occur. As this process goes on, parts of your desire keep manifesting into reality until the whole of it completely manifests. Trust the system. Do not fight the things that are drawn to you by your intention, for they are the perfect drawings of your own co-creation. See your predicaments with humor. This is the first step to getting unattached from them. Why do people sometimes hit rock bottom? Why do people sometimes become devastated, financially, emotionally, or otherwise? The answer lies in the use of suffering. We are not designed so that we can suffer. If we were to listen to our spirit a lot more, if we were to recapture that ability and be much more intuitive and listen to an intuition, our suffering would reduce dramatically. But when we refuse to listen to the higher wisdom of our soul, we then suffer in the physical so that we can correct errors in thinking. Haven't you ever wondered why it is that many of the people who become extremely wealthy had at some time been broke? The classic rags to riches story. Remember, it is not necessary for this to happen. But when it happens, and the person it is happening to takes responsibility and learns from it, the person becomes very wealthy. At the bottom, at rock bottom, a person is stripped of everything. The psychological false defenses that keep the person from accepting their highest truth are taken away. When the person disidentifies and disengages from these falsehoods and accepts the truth, they get up again very high. In regards to wealth, one of the truths is that we are abundant by nature. There are many truths about wealth and happiness, and many are covered in this book. It is not necessary for you to go to rock bottom and suffer so that you may identify with the truth. Suffering only comes when people refuse to listen to more subtle signals. These signals can come from within or from sources such as books, other people, TV, movies. The source communicates in infinite ways. It is us who do not pay attention and listen. It is us who choose to ignore what we feel is true. Another reason for suffering is to know what not suffering is and how to get to the not suffering. For example, for you to know what red is, you have to know what red is not. You do not have to know this experientially and personally, but you definitely need to know it. Imagine a robot that has never experienced a state of happiness or sadness. This robot may be very smart, very well programmed in the knowledge of happiness and sadness. The programmer may explain as much as possible what happiness is, but the robot will only ever know conceptually what happiness is. And that is not true knowing, it is emptiness. Only by experiencing happiness yourself can you know happiness, and to do so you need to experience, even if for a short while, the opposite of happiness, which is sadness. There are some things that you need first-hand personal experience in, and there are some things that you only need to know conceptually. Sometimes the ones you need to know firsthand include things you may call suffering, but in essence they are tools to enable you to enjoy their opposites that you seek. Much of your pain is self-chosen. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore trust the physician, and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility, for his hand, though heavy and hard, is guided by the tender hand of the unseen. Khalil Gibran. The psychological rule says that when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. That is to say, when an individual remains undivided and does not become conscious of his inner contradictions, the world must perforce act out the conflict and be torn into opposite halves. Carl Jung. All other things held constant. To the extent that an individual or society understands and uses the illusion of conditionality in the right way, so will they have wealth and happiness. It feels refreshing to know that we are not at the mercy of some random circumstances and conditions, to know that we create them and they are beautiful gifts that come to serve our growth. It is liberating. Now we shall look at an aspect of conditionality that has been extremely misrepresented in society. They say that you can either succeed or fail. Here is the beautiful truth and secret. You always succeed.